This is a part of the podcast that I really enjoy because not many people know. You're already ready with the CheezIts. Holy stuff in the face with CheezIts. I'll take a couple.
Some CheezIts?
Yeah, that's so cool. I'm ready.
You want some soup with your CheezIts?
Oh my god.
You want some soup?
That's so cool. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Sweet Talking Podcast with your host, Nephi. Those of you who've been watching the podcast before, this avatar will not look familiar to you, but it is indeed me. I have had some technical difficulties with the avatar I usually use, so I am in this one for the time being, for the foreseeable future, until I can get my own custom one done or whatever, you know. You know how it be sometimes. But hey, I'm really glad that you're watching. Thank you so much for joining me tonight or today, whenever you may be watching this. And today, who we have as our special guest is none other than Alpha Ski. They are a VR world content creator, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, learn more about that. Alpha and I have only recently met, so this will be an opportunity for us to get to know each other. I don't know too much about them, so we're going to find out more together, and that's really the goal of my podcast, for us to have a conversation and just to get to know each other. So I hope you get comfortable, and obviously if you are enjoying what you're watching, don't forget to, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to, leave a comment if you're having a good time. And let's get into it. So, like I said, we are joined by Alpha. We're just gonna go. We're gonna go by Alpha. We're gonna say Alpha. But your username on Twitch is Alpha_Suki. Yeah, like the moon. Right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Alpha Suki.
Nice. Okay. So, how about we go ahead and get started with everything with our little chat tonight. So, again, I don't know too much about you. I'm looking forward to getting to know you. So, how about we start from the very, very beginning, kind of getting the menial stuff out the way. So, what are your pronouns?
I go by any pronouns: he, she, they, them, it. I am pangendered, so I am a spectrum of pronouns and genders.
Okay, that works for me. Okay. All right. So
makes it easy.
Yeah, I mean, totally. Yeah. So you don't mind if I call you, if I call you she or
You
they.
can call me a toaster oven if you want.
Wow, that is like
No.
that makes it super easy, but I would never demean you like that. You are an individual. I will not put you down to the level of being a toaster. Absolutely not. You are not a robot.
Toaster.
So
But yes, you're all good. Don't worry about it.
okay, cool. So, now that we gotten that out the way, let me ask, like, who are you? And can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Just like a very kind of brief description of who you are, what you do. It can be as long or as short as you want it to be. Just kind of like explain to me and, to the audience, like who you are and just a little bit of a description of what makes you you.
Well, I'm Alpha Tsuki. I'm currently wearing Tsuki. I have two sides of me.
Okay.
I'm a small content creator on Twitch, and I also make worlds on VR. I made The Resistance and a few other worlds that are just not as popular. But I quite enjoy it. This is my home. VR is my home. You'll often find me here. And I'm a viber. You can come up to me, I'll vibe with you. We chillin'.
Nice.
That's basically about it.
All right, cool. So, let's start with VR. Let's talk about VR and VR chat. So, excuse me. So, how did you get started in VR chat? What brought you here?
A long time ago, I was on, this was when VRChat was first starting. I saw something pop up about it, I didn't think much of it until later down the line. I saw more. It was at the end of 2017, 18. It's one of the years. But I decided to get on desktop mode, check it out, and kind of fell in love with it. And kind of just, I popped up. I met so many cool friends here. It's much easier to make friends on this place than it is anywhere else in the world. And I find that, like, very nice. So I kind of just got VR one day, tracker the next week, kind of been vibing ever since.
So when you first found out about VRChat, you kind of you immediately just got into it. You got a headset. Like, did you already have a VR headset before you found out about VRChat?
No, so I found out VR. I don't remember how exactly I found out VRChat. I remember just seeing it. I dismissed it for a while because I was like, oh, it's just another game, and I was busy playing Minecraft. And then as it went on, I saw it again, and I was like, you know what? I think I'll try it out. So I went up, tried it out in desktop mode, and I think a year or two later, I had my dad brought home an Index.
Oh.
Because I guess he saw something on Steam, and he was like, I want that.
that must have been around the time when it first came out.
Yeah, when I think it was when the Index was first being released. He saw it. He was like, "This is gonna be the new future," and he bought it. And he brought this big shiny box in from the outside, and I was like, "Whoa, what is this?" Little did I know that thing was gonna change everything. We set it up in our living room, played on it for hours.
What were you playing?
Next week it was my birthday. Oh, we played. We had some few games. We had I think Half-Life came later, but we had this little marble game and this like the treasure hunt like roller coaster ride, which was so fun. We would like sit on it and just go with it. And then there's meditation on there. I thought that was cool because I was like seeing things from a different world. I was like, whoa. And I've experienced like headsets kind of before. I did the Google Cardboard, you know, like those,
yeah,
you know, you put your phone in it. I always loved that idea. So when I saw my dad bring home this thing, I was like fascinated. I was like, let's go.
Awesome. So basically the moment you got your hands on VR, you were essentially in love, and you tried out VRChat soon after. You fell in love with that. So you've been on VRChat for, let's say, about 5 years now, give or take?
Yeah, I think, it's been about that long. Remember this headset.
Yeah. And you said it was your birthday right after. So when you got the headset, it was your birthday, like I guess a couple of weeks.
I think it was the week. No, it was my birthday was gonna be the next 2 weeks over, I think. If I remember it correctly. My memory seems to precede me sometimes.
Same.
I remember getting the headset. And then I remember the week after, my brother came up to me with these 3 boxes, and he's like, this is your very early birthday present. So he bought me trackers.
Oh. Wow. That
you're gonna want these.
So it sounds like everything really like sped up for you. And you said you got trackers like soon after you got involved in VRChat?
It wasn't even a week.
And you bought like the was it like the Vive trackers?
Yeah, I got the Vive trackers up in here.
Are they the same ones that you had from way back when, or have you upgraded since?
I mean, I have 2.0s now. But I think, I'm pretty sure I had, like, it was the Vive and then it was the trackers. I don't have that Rainbow. I got Vive 2.0s. I think that was when I got him. Because I remember playing like half body for a while, and I think these were the first ones, if I remember correctly.
No worries on like the finer details. But yeah, that's I don't think I've heard of anyone adopting VR as quickly as it seems like you did. And you said that it's essentially changed your life. So before we get into that, I'm curious as to like, since it seems like you've been in VR chat for a very, very long time, and you've seen many changes through the platform. So can you tell us a little bit about like what has changed? What has changed in VR, and what has changed for you since you got started?
Oh, what has changed in VR? Like, the murder lobby has been upgraded. That's the one thing I remember, like, going through the years with, was that the murder lobby changed from murder 1 to murder 2 to murder 3 to murder 4. Wait, I think we're on the 4th one, right? Or murder 3 or something. One of those. But, yeah, I see them changing throughout the years. That was the one big thing that, oh my god, VR's changing. I remember the name tags changing. The clients are no longer here. I had like visual aid clients. Shh. Don't tell VR. Don't tell them. But yeah, I remember the nameplates, like the whole hierarchy of if you're a trusted user or a regular user by the name tags. I know that kind of changed. Now you have to open the menu to see like, oh, they're not a trusted, or you have to hide them. To be like, oh, you're not trusted or you're not user. Like that hierarchy kind of collapsed semi. So you like, it's more of an equal game. I feel like.
So
I remember just so much changing.
So can you tell us a little bit about when you said murder? I think people may get confused by that statement. Oh. Can you tell us a bit of what that means?
The Murder Games by Jar. Wait, yes, hold up. The Murder Games are that by the one person. I remember, like, you know, the fun games that you run around. You're the murderer. You kill the person, and then you try to find out who that murderer is and shoot him with a sheriff gun. I remember I remember going to the first lobbies, and I remember just like having fun with my friends. I think the most memorable ones was Murder 2. I actually started streaming at Murder 2, and then I stopped streaming.
Okay, so
that's why it's so memorable.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So yeah, it's a world in VR where you take on the role of that and you hunt people. Okay, makes sense. All right, I think I've done that game at least like once. I think I've done like a session with some peeps like once, I believe, but I have never really kind of spent much time there. But I think I know what you're talking about. I think I've been there. But you know, in any
the Among Us game.
Yeah. Yeah. So like in that case, can you tell us about how VR chat has changed your life? Like, I guess how VR/VR chat has made things differ for you. Like you said, it changed your life. So tell me how.
So I'm not a very social person, IRL. I'm very much a shut-in, but like when I started out VR, I started gaining confidence. I used to be a mute when I first started.
Really?
Like
okay.
Literally no talking, hand signals, playing charades. And then like I started gaining confidence as more people started coming up and talking to me, and I come up to more people. I started getting into these groups. I have like a whole posse of people around me sometimes when I was first starting, and I remember it affecting my IRL life too. But not only was I starting to get confident in VR, I was starting to pull it out towards IRL. So I was becoming more confident. I was getting up in the mornings, doing all like this, like getting ready for the days, and I used to not do that. I used to just kind of wake up when I wake up, and just kind of but I started gaining more like social interactions IRL with the confidence I got with VR. So that helped me a lot through the schooling and through like just trying to like live a little bit. It was very nice, that's for sure. I think VR for a lot of it, it's helped It's definitely helped with the support of friends. I have friends that are close to me now that I will never replace, and I'm like, you guys are halfway across the world, but I feel like you are like right next to me.
Yeah.
That's a fun thing.
Definitely. I can certainly relate to that. I know that there was certainly a point for me in my life where I also was very much like I don't think there was ever a point where I didn't have confidence, but I definitely gained confidence through online interactions. So like the more like it kind of occurred to me that I was acting differently online than I was in person or IRL, and like being able to have that realization that, hey, if I can act this way online, why can't I bring that into real life? And I think a lot of people have that kind of experience. I think a lot of people find that, a lot of who they are is just locked away. And if given the chance, they can be better versions of themselves. They can become better versions of themselves. And I think that's really, really awesome, especially like given like the way VRChat is as a game platform, whatever you want to call it. It really does allow people to have experiences they normally wouldn't have in person and allow themselves to awaken that sense of confidence and self-love that I think a lot of people are missing. I think that's what draws a lot of people to VRChat and allows a lot of people to actually start living their lives.
Definitely right there. It's just it's helped a lot of people, and I know it's helped me a lot. So I think it's an amazing platform, and it's an amazing tool that has been created in this world, especially for a lot of people that struggle a lot. This is a great place. It is a safe place. Yes, there's a drama. Not like you can press the block button though. But it's nice. It's really nice, honestly.
Yeah, and like having
good soup.
Yes, and and like the close. I think the closeness also is really, really nice. To, like be able to like have that sense of closeness with people that like you don't really get to have in real life. And like so it sounds like before VRChat things were not so like it sounded like you're going through depression. Would you say that was?
Yeah, I was not doing so well before VRChat, and like this changed everything. It changed how I was. I changed that I just wanted to be here, to like wake up every morning, to know at the end of my day I can come here and feel safe. This was my home. This is still my home. The people I make on this game, like I meet and I make, they are my family. I found family and refuge here, and I love each and every one of them.
I love to hear that. That's definitely, I think a lot of people can really, really understand and vibe to that for sure. Like it's amazing the people that I found and the people that you've found. It's really a wonderful feeling to like meet such wonderful, creative, interesting, fascinating people, and that's why you're here. That's why I'm here, and I think that's really, really awesome. Yeah. So, can you tell me about streaming? I know you don't really like. I know you're not predominantly a streamer, but I know you've streamed like I guess off and on. It sounds like. So, I guess what do you usually stream, and what really kind of got you into that?
So I normally stream VRChat, a few small games like Portal, because Portal's my favorite game, honestly. I love it so much. I just stream small games, just something, it's not really like it's gonna be a job for me. This is a hobby. Streaming is a hobby. This is what makes me happy, and I want to show other people that, hey, this game makes me happy. I want to show you this. Like, you can see what I see. I can remember from from looking back at my streams. I think that's fun. And like, I remember starting out streaming, like when Murder 2, the game world was like first was like big and popular. I remember streaming then. I had a avatar that was a banana ferret. I still have it somewhere. But it was a little banana ferret. There's a clip of me on my channel, I think, of me just spinning in a circle singing like the Seal song with this banana ferret. It's one of my my beautiful memories. Absolutely love it. I remember feeling that feeling of just sharing with the world. Even though if 0 people watched me, I did not care. I was happy with just showing people or showing anyone what I was doing. I was like, let's go. And then I stopped after a while. I had life I had to get done. More stuff happened. And then actually as of recently, when I met everyone like Turk, Red, Graham, Ziggy, and like everybody in that circle, and Ambers and stuff like that, I actually like started to want to stream again because I was surrounded by these streamers, and I met a whole bunch of streamers, and I was like, I love all of you. I want to do this too. I want to show the world what I see here again. I was fascinated, and I was like, let's do this again, round 2. Turns out I had so much support from all these people, and I was loving it. I was like, I have friends who want to support me finally. People who were there, people who stay. And I'm like, let's go. And I remember when I got affiliated, I got sniped like instantly by Scoon, and I think Rex followed afterwards, and then a whole bunch of my friends like just kind of bombarded me, and I was like I was laughing at the fact. I was like, oh my god, I just got sniped by these people that are my friends. I was in love. I was like, whoa. These people really want to see me, and they love that I'm here. And I was like, wow. That's something I don't have IRL. This game gives me love here. I don't really have that IRL. So this game really means a lot to me, and to have friends that support me, that meant the world. I remember sitting in a lobby with Chels, and like they were like watching movies, and I met Ziggy there for the first time. I met a few other people there for the first time, I think, yeah. But I remember sitting there, and then as soon as I was gonna leave and I announced, hey, I'm leaving, they all turned around and said bye. As soon as I got off, I cried because that was amazing. People don't do that. I don't see that IRL normally, just people saying bye. Them saying bye made me cry. I was like, whoa, that has an effect like no tomorrow. And same situations happen where I just sit in the room and I interact with these people. They slowly start to hit me like real well that these are my friends. These are my friends. That they might be thousands of miles away, or they might be like down the road, but like these people are here, and I love them to death, and they make me happy so much. I truly owe it all to them.
So it sounds like your life was able to truly begin after you started using VRChat and met all these wonderful people in all these various communities, and they've all come together to support you. And it seems like your life has come together in a really, really meaningful way, with the help of all of these wonderful, wonderful people in your corner, which is, I think that's really, really great. I certainly hope that you know I can be one of those people as well. That'd be really, really cool. But we can talk about that off camera for sure. But either way, I'm so glad to hear that things have gotten so much better for you since you start using VRChat. So I guess that leads me to my next question. How would you describe VR versus IRL? Like, do you think that if you had the option to live in VR or live in reality, where would you want to live? Where would you prefer to be?
100% in reality. And in virtual reality, I should say. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm not very good at words.
No, yeah,
in
you're
virtual
fine.
reality, I am 100% in VR chat. I wouldn't change it for the world, honestly. Sure, IRL is a little iffy on my point. Some people know it, some people don't. But yeah, it's just this place is home. This place is everything to me. This is my life. IRL is a different person.
So do you? It sounds like you distinguish yourself between your who you are in reality and who you are in VR. Are they two different people?
Yeah. If you met me IRL, I would be the most shyest, a little bit of a dull person. I have very much anxiety, so I will be quiet. And I'm like, but in this game, I'm not. I'm very loud. If you get me off camera, I'm very loud. I do funny stuff, and I like to say it's funny. But,
I know it is. It is. I've seen you do your antics. I do find it amusing. Yes, I would agree.
But I definitely would have chosen virtual reality over it all, honestly.
So you want Ready Player One. You want Sword Art Online.
Ready Player One, let's go. Okay, maybe not SAO. Okay.
I mean, okay. You know, like, let's not diss SAO. Like, it has some good bits.
I mean, SAO's good.
Yeah.
SAO is good.
Yeah.
Until people start dying.
Right. Yeah, like you want that immersion, that immersive like where everything is connected and everything just kind of works. Like, I would really love for like everything, like all senses, to be accessible in VR, and like I don't think we're gonna. I hope we get there, but I don't know if we're actually gonna get there, because like it's so difficult to like get all of that what's going on up here, and then getting that in VR, and then having that, you know, that immersion, that deep immersion. But I want that too.
The thing is about that, it might not be technology for it right now, but our brains kind of develop this like phantom sense. And so like I feel when you feel me, or sometimes I'll get a smell that, like, if you're near me, I don't even have to be looking at you. If you're near me, I'll have like a weird smell. I'll have like a good smell. It's not bad, I swear.
I believe you.
I won't even have to be near you. It just I smell it and I'm like, oh, that's that human. Oh, that's this human. It's a whole thing that our brains kind of developed, and you can train yourself to do it too. It's not just something that it develops over time. If you really wanted to, you can train yourself to do phantom sense. And I think that's amazing that our brains could do that, and that we can train ourselves to do this. Like, you can touch me and my brain will be like, oh, there's a feeling there. It'll make like a weird tingly feelings. Our brains, I mean, technology might not be up there just yet, but our brains are like absolutely amazing. They can like make things. Hell, they made virtual reality. They can make senses in your body.
That is true. And like, it's great that you brought this up, because I'm actually very curious about. Well, I've been curious about Phantom since I had my first experience in VRChat, which I have not been in VRChat very long. I've talked about this in other podcasts, but I'm relatively new. I haven't even been in VRChat for a year as of yet. So I'm still super new myself, but ever since like day one, I've wanted to have that. I've wanted to have that immersive experience, and that's been very, very like frustrating for me, because like this idea of training yourself to have phantom sense is an idea that I've wanted to believe and have definitely wanted to pursue and have tried to pursue over like a number of weeks or so. But it seems like just some people have it and some people don't. And like, I'm one of the people who don't. And like, I'm actually one of the people who I've had it. It's like, it's there when it wants to be. And like, and I would say 99% of the time it is not there. But that 1%, when it occasionally happens, like, I've occasionally gotten a scent of somebody. Occasionally, like just once. There was one time I actually like...
It's always fun when that happens.
Yeah, that was super, super interesting. But, and like one other time I had like, I had someone like touch me and I got a tingly feeling, or I felt like the warmth of it. But like this idea of training yourself to get phantom sense, can you, have you done that? Did you have to do that? Or were you like already pre-built with phantom sense? Were you that fortunate?
So for me, I was a little bit of a pre-built when it came to my top half. When it came to my bottom half, I didn't really have the sense. I know my legs, even though when I got the full body sense, like full body, I still didn't have my legs or my foot. I had to train myself to do it. This was the way I trained myself. I would touch where my body was in an IRL, and I would put my hand over it, or I'd have someone else put their hand over it, and I would remember that feeling that my hand is doing to my leg, because you can feel like when someone touches you, right? You get that feeling. It's like heavy, it's staticky a little bit. I trained myself to kind of just touch, have someone else touch me, and I kind of did it at the same time. And then I remembered that feeling, and I started doing it all over to be like, which parts feel weird, which parts feel like this. I am very ticklish IRL on my feet. So when I'm in game, I remember the feeling of being tickled, and it's like, ah. So when friends attack my feet, I'm like, no, don't do it.
Okay, so I think I've heard of that method, but I haven't heard it explained in such like precise detail. But I think I've heard of that method of like, you know, having someone else touch you, and then you touch where you are, and then like you have someone else put their hand there as well. Like, yeah, like I've tried to. I've definitely tried to, but I don't know. I think I'm just too. I think I've just been in reality for too long. I think maybe people who are younger, maybe it's easier for people who are younger to have phantom sense pre-built, because they haven't, I guess, experienced reality for as long as some other people. Like that's why I would think, and that's something I'm really, really curious about. Like, why do some people have phantom sense? Why do some people don't? And is it like how plausible is it for people to train themselves like you explained? Because I would most definitely want to like learn. If I could train myself, I would 100% learn. So that's very, very interesting. Very, very nice. Okay. So, wow. And like, so how long did that take you? Can you say how long that took you to get to that point?
Okay, for touching and phantom sense wise, when I was training myself, it took a while. I mean, it's something neurological in your brain. Almost anybody can have phantom sense as long as you train your brain to do it. Unless there's something like something neurological that you have that you can't train your brain to do it. Then yes, those situations get difficult and you can't feel it. But like, it took me a while to understand and to feel like in game to IRL. It's not a fast process. You can't just learn it in a day. That would be amazing. Then everybody would have it. Then nobody would run through me and feel like a ghost. But
so that's what it feels like when people run through you. Like you have that just like. Is that like a sensation?
Like a cold chill
throughout your entire body. Really? Wow. Okay. Wow.
You feel when someone passes through you. It's just a weird feeling. I say it's like a ghost. It's just, it passes through you and I'm like, whoa. Sometimes when you catch it, other times when you don't catch it, it feels like just a weird, like a tiny breeze. But like when you catch it and when someone's heading face forward at you and then passes through your body, it feels weird. I'm like, oh, okay. Bye.
So you were definitely one of the people who don't run through people. Like you walk around people. Like
I try my best, unless I'm playing around and running around the world. I try my best to move the side motion, because it does feel weird. I mean, phantom pain is a thing too, so like that people have heightened phantom pain like that would feel uncomfortable. I have it when it comes to needles, because you've experienced needles before, and like that's not fun.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what situation would you experience like phantom pain in VRChat? Or yeah, we'll go with that.
I mean, if you have heightened phantom pain, I would say gunshots, big thing.
Okay, that's a good example.
Knives, big thing. Anything with a needle on it is a big thing. I would say, like, hit, like a full-on smack. Like, if you remember that enough, I'm sorry for people who remember that enough.
Yeah.
I can feel that feeling. But you remember it enough, and someone smacked you like that, you can remember that feeling, and that feels weird to you. And it feels like, ouch, you react to it. The feeling's not there, you react to it because you know that feeling, and it's going to be in your brain, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable. Yeah, I remember playing around like in Murder the World.
Yes.
When I was thinking about the knife and I actually got like stabbed, I felt that feeling, because like I've been stabbed before.
Yeah.
I felt that feeling, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, which definitely
It's
unpleasant.
a weird sensation.
Yeah. That's really fascinating to know. Like, obviously, like, super unfortunate for anyone who actually can remember such like the not so pleasant side of it, but very, very fascinating for people who are curious about phantom sins. I know a lot of people are very curious about it, so whenever I meet someone who's very familiar with it, I always like to get their 2 cents on how they learned, if they were pre-built, if they trained themselves, and you've been super, super helpful in that regard. So yeah, thank you for like going into detail about that.
I'm glad I can help.
Yeah, totally. So, let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's get into the really like the serious stuff. The reason why people are here. Your creative ability, your interest in building VR worlds. So, how did you get into that?
Oh, I got into it plenty of years ago, actually. I've always had Blender in my computer ever since I was a kid and it came out. I think when it first I kind of wanted to start building thing was IRL. I was in IRL and I love the idea of making like these paper buildings, because I wanted a bakery one day, and I made I made a box and I started decorating it with these little paper objects I would make out of paper. But so I made the counters, I made the chairs, I made like little decorations. I thought this was so cool to me, and I was like, I can be in architecture, or I can be like a builder. I love the idea of building things. So when Minecraft came around, I was always on that. I was 24/7 on Minecraft all day, every day. I was a gamer. But I love the idea of building. I would create a bunch of massive things. I would create castles, towers. And,
in Minecraft.
Okay. Yeah, in Minecraft. I loved it. Something creative with like puzzles, and redstone was my favorite, of course. But and then onwards it went, where I see these people building things in Blender. I'm like, whoa. When animation was around, I saw these worlds being made in this little short video I saw on the YouTube. I saw this world being made for I think it was for one of the animations that they were gonna be made for backgrounds. I saw this and I was like, that's so cool to make something in the computer and to see it on the telly. It's so cool. I was like, I wanted to do that. So I set along my journey. I did some paper modeling and stuff like that, interior designing, and I started to I started to funny story. When I didn't know what Blender was, I thought you drew on
The actual
computer screen
Blender.
and it would just go in.
Oh wait, no.
You drew on the computer screen and it would just go in. I, as a kid, Sharpied in the computer screen.
Oh no. Yeah, touchscreen technology not quite there yet.
So I was having fun. I was like, look, Mom, I made something. She's like, what did you do? We had to get a new computer screen that day.
Oh wow.
But as I grew older, I wanted to be a veterinarian, a baker. I wanted to be a lot of things, so I explored my regions. I stopped the 3D making, and then I revisited it. Like,
at what age?
This was during like high school years. High school years, I couldn't say. I would say sophomore year. I started to look at it again, and I realized there was a program in my high school. There's a program for young adults who want to make creations for the movie people and for like the people that want to do 3D stuff. And like when virtual reality was like first hitting the markets, or just kind of slowly becoming better, like when the Google box came out. Like I remember that was like when virtual reality kind of like started trying to get more advanced, and then you can see more worlds like that. Like I remember seeing that, and I was like, I want to do that. So I took this course in sophomore year of high school. It was like on a Maya, like a big box computer. It was a Maya programming, I believe. Or
I'm familiar.
3D Max. And we just started making models and worlds. I have my first model. It's like a Christmas world, and you're on a train and you just go everywhere. It's so bad. It's so bad. But I look back at it sometimes and I'm like, look where I am now compared to how I was then.
Yeah, progress.
I love animation, so I went for that. I went for 3D animations. So that's how I went for. So I would create worlds, and then I would create the things that went into the worlds, and I would model it and I would move it. I found out animation was not my path, but the world creating was. I fucking love world creating. So I started doing Blender, and next thing you know, I again evolved into VR, and then I started like building worlds, my home world for VR. I remember my first home world. Sadly, it is gone from both of my accounts. Well, when I first started, I had another account, got banned on that, sadly. So this is my newer account. So I remember that home world. I remember it full detailed because I would hang out there a lot when I was first making it. It's just a box world. It was so bad. There was so many clippings. But the thing is, I made secret entrances.
Oh.
I remember that I made like you can phase through a wall to get to a bedroom. Like it was so cool, but you had to go through this certain part of the wall, or you couldn't get in by itself. I started loving that, and then I go to like these worlds in VRChat, and I'm like, I want to do this. I want a place where people can be comfortable in. So I started building and building more, and then, well, I've made a couple of club worlds because I used to be an old-fashioned club owner. But I made some club worlds. They're so bad still. I don't want to do updates on them. But since they're old, I just don't touch them anymore. Like, and then onwards as I go on, and I'm at this point now where I'm a streamer. I'm surrounded by streamers, and then I go see. I'm like hanging out with Red and Turk and a bunch of DJs, and I see these worlds, and then I hear people complain about how they're lagging. And how the world's cool, but like it's kind of hits, and it's like the world makes you lag, even though there's a lot of people and they turn them off. It's the world that's making this problem. I like that. I like the fact that there was a problem.
Right.
I was like, you know,
it's motivation.
I I can make a world. I can make a DJ world. It took me a week. I think even less than a week. I don't remember how much, but I remember that it took me about a week to make the Resistance. And I know I'm still working on it through putting logos on the walls and like, you know, adding the cue of putting things in it. But I remember just having people just enter the world and be like, this is cool. Like, and then I had the story behind it too. I had a cool story. And it went into my lore with it. And I love the fact I made this world, and it inspired me to make more worlds. Currently, I am working on a world, like a hangout world. So I got that going. And we kind of love it, so I'm just excited to make more worlds and to share my process with everyone as I'm making these worlds. In and in and in. It's all connected by lore too.
Awesome. Very, very cool. Like it was great to like hear it from start, from like the beginning to like now. It was really, really interesting to listen to all of that. So I do have a couple of questions regarding that. So let's start from, you know, you got banned. Mm-hmm. You got banned. How did that happen?
When I first started, I was a dumb kid.
Okay.
When I first started, I was dumb as hell. So I would just go around in like these lobbies, switching into avatars. I would mess around with people because this was the peak of my confidence. I would mess around with people. I would get in their face, shove them, throw objects at them everywhere, and then. And apparently a lot of people didn't like that, so they blocked and reported me for it. I mean, I was just starting out. I was having the time of my life.
How old were you?
Care. I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I was just an age.
All right.
I just remember like being in people's face. This was like peak of confidence. I did not care. Just throwing stuff everywhere. I was having so much fun. And then next thing you know, I see my account got banned. I was sad. I got real sad, so I stopped VR for a month. Mm-hmm. Got back on the bandwagon, and I was like, let's do this again, and let's do it proper. So that's how my username came to be at first. So that was fun.
So which account is this? This is the second or third account?
This is the second account.
Okay.
I don't have a third.
Okay. And you said you'd made a personal world on the other account, and it's gone?
Oh yeah, that thing's long gone. Ever since when I got banned, my whole account got wiped. So that world long gone. It was pink and black, so pretty. It had like the media player in it, the old one. Oh my god, it would have the same song go on, sing my heart out when I go inside of it. I had props. I learned how to do props when I was starting out. I still struggle on that a bit.
But
I'm like, how did I know this?
So wait. But you had made the world, like you designed the world, and you were using Blender, and I'm assuming you were also using Unity, correct?
Mm-hmm. Blender and Unity.
Okay, so wouldn't you still have the world itself, like? So
that was on a very old computer.
Oh.
And that computer finally died after a really long time.
And so you lost that world that you built on there.
I lost the worlds.
Gotcha.
And then I've also created a bunch of like so much stuff, so it got lost. You know, it could have gotten lost in the files as well, or like my computer, I set it up so like if I haven't interacted with anything in like a year or two, they'll delete it because you know space is conserved.
Right. Makes sense.
Unless I move it to a specific folder, but it could have gotten deleted. But I just know that I don't have that world anymore. It's sad. I was planning on remaking it, but then I wanted to do the new world.
So what other worlds have you created? Like before we get to the Resistance, talk about that. What are the worlds? How many other worlds did you make before the Resistance?
So before the Resistance, there's a lot of privated worlds. So there's a lot of crappy privated worlds. For the Resistance, I made 3 other club worlds. So I made this Infinity Club. So I was on the side of VR that was at FBTs with dancers and, you know, all that fun jazz.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a club owner because I used to hang out with club owners.
Right.
I used to hang out with dancers all the time. I was the DJ of the VR world. But I hanged out with all these people, and I had a lot of support at first. I had people that came and that came to the events, and like I had made this club world for them. It's like a 3-headed dog because it was infinity. That was my club world. It was infinity. And then I remember that I kind of left that world behind. I made a new one called Infinity Mini, which was just a smaller world. It's still available today. Very few clubs still use the world because it's for Quest. It's Quest and it's PC, so it's Quest compatible.
Okay.
I don't remember what happened to the files, honestly. I know they're somewhere in my computer. But it has global sync on it, and that was a good place. I love the fact that people still used it, and it was a quality world. It's a quality world to the point of a new person like making it, honestly. And then after that, I continued with the Infinity theme since that was the name of the club, but I continued with it. So I made this like party world, this like DJ world. It had lights in it. It was huge. It had like a bar. I had 2 bars. And I played around with that world so much. Then I made a few other worlds with like for friends, or a gift world, or a chill out world. I've edited a few worlds actually too. From what my friends wanted me to edit, I would help with them, be like, okay, want me to help with you? I got you. Send me over the file. I'll fix what you need, or if you need, I'll send you a script. I got to help with worlds too. That was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I made a lot of other worlds, and then I stopped. Like all good persons do, they stop eventually, and then they relive it. So the Resistance was my revival to making world again.
I see. So between the point at which you discovered Blender and got comfortable with Blender up until the point where you started like frequently making worlds, like to what degree, like how long did it take you for you to get confident in that, to get to the point where you could feel like the Resistance is going to be like a really, really great world? So I'm assuming the Resistance is kind of like, okay, I'm very confident in what I'm doing. So how long did it take you to get to that point?
I'm never confident, but I would say the world's never finished, so I'm not very confident about that.
Okay,
but
that's fine.
I'd say how long it gave me to that point where I was at, this is what I need to do for a world. It was a long time, honestly. It was from this, like when I first started worlds, to the first start of my VRChat journey to now. It took a while. I mean, there's talented people out there that will learn a world in a day, and they know how to make a quality world. But I know for me, it takes a longer process, and it takes a learning process, and I know how to do stuff, and I know how to make a world that's semi-optimized, and how to make a world quest compatible. So it took a while. I can't say it's a quick process. It's not a one-day process. It is that if you want a quality world, it takes a while. It might take a month, it might take half a year, it might take a year. I know certain people that have worked on these amazing worlds that it's like it took at least half a year to make these worlds. And I think that's so cool. And I'm like, that's amazing. You took all your time to make this one world, and it looks amazing, and people are gonna use it. I say it's a fun journey, but it takes time. Don't ever think something doesn't take time. Everything takes time.
So you don't have any concept of how many years, like at like what age you started up until like what age you are now? Like, do you have any sort of like context of like, I first started learning Blender and then how old I am now? Like, do you know how many years that was?
I would say 5, 6 years maybe. 5 maybe. I couldn't say possibly when I first started, because there was a lot of times where I could have started. Because I remember my memories just like I started here, then I started here, then I started there. But I bet there's more, like I could have gone like all the way back where I first started Blender, but it's just so much of it. Like, I can say if I want to do like the deep and gritty stuff from the start of my VRChat journey to now, that is how I learned Blender. If I wanted to know that like this was the main part of when I started like peaking learning, started my VRChat journey was about like 4 or 5 years ago to now. So it's 4 years.
Okay.
I would say.
Good. It's nice to kind of give people like actual like time frames. Like obviously everyone learns at different rates and different paces, but to just give an idea of like how long your process was, because you already admitted to needing time. It takes you a little bit longer to make worlds compared to other people you may know. So having a little bit of context, I think, is really, really helpful to people. So that's why I was asking. And if you don't mind me asking, how old are you now?
I am 20, turning 21. I am a young soul.
Okay. And that's really awesome to know. I think like a lot of people, like I guess it makes sense that you would be like at that age and like being exposed to Blender and also being exposed to Unity at a relatively early in your teenage life. It makes sense. In this day and age, it's not uncommon for many young people to have access to those tools, and it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's really, really good to know. So, can you talk to us a little bit about your process? Can you walk us through what you did to build the Resistance, since that's the world that's being used most? Would you say it's the most commonly used world that you've created?
No, I believe so. Right now, it's being the most commonly used world as of currently. Okay. So the process is that I had this like a great idea of like a DJ area that was in an abandoned place, but I knew from how I saw other places and other worlds that I didn't want it to be like where everybody's standing off the side. So I wanted people to be front, center, staring at the DJ, because the DJ is the focus in DJ's world. Honestly, the DJ is the focus with their music. They are broadcasting this to you. They are giving you their all. So of course you want to put their focus just there. So of course, like in my world, I decided I wanted to like make it like a small world where like there's sides, yes, but like there's people that are introverted, that there's sides that if they really want to watch it, they can watch it from the sides. It's fine. But the thing is, it's a more darker area. Well, the brighter area it's a bigger spot. People are more likely to go there because there's light on you. So there's light on your avatar. And it's not uncomfortable where it's like the middle is like it's so huge of a world that the middle is uncomfy. No, this is a small room. Sit. You hang out with it, like hang out in the middle. Your focus is on the DJ and on your friends too. I wanted that type of world, so I had this lore with it. I had the world idea I wanted. So what I started to do, I started to first start out with the lore, because I already knew how the world was gonna look like. So I made this gravestone because I could tell you the lore of this world.
That was going to be my question later on, but you're welcome to share that now if you want. If that leads into everything else, it's okay.
I'll give you like a semi of it, and then I'll go into detail later.
Okay.
But like, you're technically you as a person are a runaway from like, you are a runaway. So this is like a hidden place. This place that we are performing at is a hidden place. So of course, nobody would think that your hideout's going to be in a graveyard, eh?
Mm-hmm.
So when you first spawn in, you see this grave with a rose on it and a beautiful tree. And then it's like a dark surrounding. This is like the spot. So as soon as you click this rose is like, it's meant to be like kind of a representative of like a, Indiana Jones with the like the heavy lever thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's you take it off, it makes like fun stuff around happen. So it's meant to be like, you get this rose, you move it or you click on it, and like it unlocks like a secret way to like this underground railroad. So the next spot that you like spawn to is an underground railroad. So it's an abandoned one, and you see there's a light at the end of the tunnel. That is where you're supposed to go. So I made this like road. I remember making this in Blender. Is that this railroad was like, it has to be twisted and turned because it's old. But the thing is, you're going to this like magical place. It's so crazy, and it's twisting and turning into your new future. And like this is like, there's like weird tunnels. I remember like looking at the tunnels and I was like, oh god, I wanted to look cool. So making the tunnels like that was very fun.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go near the tunnel, you hit a collider box there. There's a collider box in front of you. That's why you don't have to click on it. So as soon as you go near it, you actually spawn into the world, because that means you have ended your journey of traveling through the railroad system. So now you're at this abandoned building, and like you see a bunch of DJ stuff, some speakers, some lights. This is where you're primarily set up at. So you see like all these logos on the world. These are also like DJs that have been running away. I'll get more into that later.
Mm-hmm.
But these are DJs that have been running away with you. These are past people that have been here as well. So you're basically, every logo in my world is infested with my lore. It's like, it's in the lore of the world. Every logo that's been there, in the lore. Or like, it doesn't even have to be a DJ. It could be just somebody there. Be like, I was here. This person was here. They have their logo on the world. You were here. But so when creating that room, I wanted it to definitely be a torn down room. I wanted it to not look like it wasn't like a new room. So there's like wires there that have Audiolink on them, and then I got rid of the Audiolink on those wires. Didn't work out very well. I remember adding boxes because atmosphere and decorations are a big part of world building. You can have like a box world, but like not a lot of people are gonna stay in it until like you have like a couch on there, or you have like a mirror or like a light. People are gonna stay if they see something interesting or see something like kind of like some like a furniture item. I feel like that would be like a big part. So I added boxes to the world to show that this is a place that people actually like have gone to. That it's not just like a room that's kind of empty. There's boxes here being like, oh, people have been here, place down these boxes. They have like, it doesn't look an empty world. There's that DJ stand there. So I like the idea of the milk crates. I actually got the idea of the milk crates from Red Set in the world. What was that world called? I don't know. He uses this other world. And it's like a tunnel system too. And there's like this DJ stand with milk crates. I thought that was cool. I honestly thought that was cool, and I was like, that's not a bad idea. It's like, in abandoned places you find milk crates sometimes.
Yeah.
And I thought that's a good idea to add to the world too. I could have just put like a box there. But I was like, milk crates, that sounds like it would fit in the world as well. So with that going on, I kind of yoinked the idea. I'm like, all right, time to go into the world. So then we had the DJ decks that, you know, they're portable, so you can pick them up and then run off with them. And like the screen, there's like 3 screens there. But I remember having huge problems with Audiolink. When I was first starting Audiolink, God, was it hard. This world was the first world I dealt with Audiolink. Proudly say that. I think I did a decent job. But it was the first world I messed with Audiolink, so when I was making that process, I know the fact is that it was hard to like get it, and I was like, I'm having errors here, I'm having scripts being missing, I have something I have to do here. I didn't know. I had to consult with like this creator group of world creators, so I was part of this world creator group, but I never used it very much. And as soon as I started the Resistance, I started using it more and more. Be like, hey, I need help here, hey, I need help there. The world creators help each other. I would say that a lot of world creators help each other, so along with a few of like avatar creators, they help each other with certain things. At least I don't know very much about that part, but you know, I would suggest it does. But world creators help each other because we're all learning the same process here. We're all learning the same thing, post processing stuff. So when I was creating it, I had to make sure the polygon level wasn't too high. We don't want to crash people when they enter the world. We want to make sure the textures aren't like extremely high too, so because that can affect the world. Megabytes has to be really low. I think my world is at an 83 megabyte for the Resistance. It might be higher now because I've been adding more stuff in it. But I wanted it to keep it low as possible, because the lower the world is, the better quality you're going to have in it. So the better experience you're going to have in it. The reason why people lag is because of the other people. I've tested out my world enough to see that, like, if I turn on something, it doesn't lag people. I have an Audiolink button because I know Audiolink can lag people. So you can turn that off. That was a fun thing to make. I broke Audiolink like 3 times making that.
I would imagine.
But yeah, it's a process, honestly. When you try to build the world, you have to make sure things are right and that you have like certain levels of like where you want stuff. You got to make sure you're not falling through the floor. I don't know how many times I've done that. You got to make sure that people aren't walking through these walls like they're ghosts or something. Having the meshes in the right areas, the box colliders in the right areas. You want to make sure that this world is top quality. So you do a lot of things. I remember looking at it in Blender, and I remember looking at it in Unity. I seen the difference between these two, and I'm like, okay, what do we want done here? What do we need to erase here? So I'd erase stuff in Blender and add it back to Unity. And it's a lot. It took a while. I mean, I was determined. I was determined to make a quality world for DJs to sit in and for my friends to not lag. I wanted people to stay. I wanted people to stay and not leave the world because, wow, oh my god, I'm lagging so crazy. I wanted avatars to be that problem. Of course, I can never enforce optimized avatars.
Of course.
And I never will, because that is your choice. I can simply just hide your avatar. And I think that's a fun thing. So when I was learning all that process, it was interesting.
And how long did it take you to create the Resistance?
I think.
I mean, I guess just like the base world before it was ready for people to go into.
The base world, I think about the same part. It's I made the base with like everything else, so it was literally like a week to not a full week. I know I would say max time, if I wanted to get it properly done, it would have been 2 weeks. Max time is 2 weeks, but I know I got the world finished in a week. But like to add extra things, to fix certain things, I know that took another week to do.
Right. There'll always be things to fix and optimize and improve on, of course. But would you say
the world is never finished?
Yeah. And would you say like it? Would you say that? I completely lost my question. It was it was something related to obviously world building. So, like you said, that it took you about a week to build that world, and okay, well, I'm just gonna go to my next question with regards to the world building. So you worked both in Blender and in Unity. So, what percentage would you say you did your work in? Like, what percentage would you have been using Blender for? What percentage were you using Unity for? Obviously you need both because you need Unity to upload the world to VRChat anyway. So obviously that's necessary. But like, what were you? Can you explain like what you're doing in Blender primarily and what you're doing in Unity primarily?
In Blender, I was definitely building the world. I was setting it up, making sure that I removed things I didn't need. With building, you have to build. I think the only part on Unity I did was like adjusting the world, making sure that it was like the texturing was right. I did do this in Unity. I did the entrance. I didn't do that in Blender. I didn't need to do it in Blender. I had the assets for it. I just put it together and I used that in Unity because that was super easy to just put together. Of course I could have done it in Blender. I could have merged all the meshes so it could be one item instead of like 6. But I decided, you know what? This is better this way. Because it was much more easier. I didn't have to mess with the texturing. It was nicer. I was like, whatever, this would do well. And I can always edit a rock. If a rock is out of place and I see it clipping through, I can fix it in Unity. I don't have to like go through the process of saving it in Blender, sending it over to Unity, and like going through it and through it again. But in Unity, I do say that Unity is a big part of world building. Of course, it's like the main part. That's how you get the world inside of here. But Blender's like another part of it. You can make a world in Unity if you really wanted to. You don't have to have Blender. But if you want like certain things like gateways, or you want like a certain table size, or you want to make sure like you want to build something, it's a whole Blender situation there. That is something you want to do in Blender because that stuff is cool. Like, I mean, to me, Blender is cool. I can use that so easy. To a point, I could say that to a point. But they're both equally as important. But in Blender, I would make the world, so I would go through, put planes down, put rocks down, for like certain parts of the world, mess with the cables. While in Unity, I was over here making sure texture was working. And stuff like that. I wanted to make sure everything works perfectly, and then I could test it within the Unity app. I had this Cyru script that I threw inside the world, so I would press play in Unity, and I could test the world not even being in VRChat. So I don't have to wait for it to upload. I can immediately go in by just pressing play. Right. So that was a big part because I had to resize the world. I had to make sure this world fit everybody. I remember when I first started, oh my god, it was so tiny. I didn't realize it was small. I'm so glad I fixed that issue. But it was so tiny. It looked like you could just fit like a tiny avatar in it. You party in there.
So, just like, this is a personal question for me, because I have a strange fear of going into large worlds by myself. It's weird. It's a weird feeling. I don't know if anyone else experiences this, but like, was it at all like weird, like going in your world by yourself with no one else there?
Yes, at times it gets weird. I would say when I'm in the big lobby, when I'm in the big tunnel part, I get a little weirded out. I'm like, who else is here with me?
Yeah, it's always that feeling of like just like, am I actually by myself? And it's just this weird feeling of dread. It's weird.
I would say for for the resistance, I would say being in the world alone, it could be a little bit like a little overwhelming when it's because it's pitch darkness. So the audio light is off. The audio lights are off. As soon as you turn on those audio links, that's when it starts to feel like you're safe in the world. It's not like a world that you go alone in.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I have a set player there. Be like, okay, this is the music I want to put here. This is what will glow in the world. Make it nice. But yeah, I remember just kind of doing that. It was fun, but it was fun being alone in the world. I've also tested the world out a lot, so I kind of got used to being alone.
Gotcha.
But I would say for the fear of people, I would say it's mild. You can tell that like this world is small. You can see this people around you. You can know that there's like who's in your vicinity. Because it's small enough, but it's also big enough. So you shouldn't be truly scared.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to the Resistance before. I'm pretty sure I was there when you had the test run with Red. Pretty sure I was there for that.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess speaking of that, can you tell us more detail about, well, actually, before we go into that, do you come up with the lore first when you create, do all of your worlds have some sort of like grounding of lore connected to them? Or, and if they do, does the lore come first, or does the idea of how the world is going to look like, do you formulate that in your mind first before the lore, or does the lore come after you've already formulated how the world is going to look in your mind?
So, for that part, I would say there's lore in almost all of my worlds. I lore in almost all my newer worlds. I would say my older worlds are just me trying to have fun. That part is definitely lore. Like, the Resistance has its own lore in it. It has a big chunk of lore, and with the new world coming in, that has lore connecting each other to the Resistance. Those two are connected, and I remember just making the lore when I was making the world. So I had a semi-vision of the world. I didn't have a lot of it, but when I made the first part of the world, I would say yes, the building comes a little bit before the world, the lore. But as I was making the lobby, I started thinking of this like fantasy of like, I'm a person in this world. I think I would go here next. So I was doing the lore as I was building. So when I finished the lobby part, I'm like, what do I think? I'm this person. I live this ways. I'm running away from something. I'm gonna go to a railroad. I'm gonna go underneath this place. This is a hideout. Okay, well, it's gonna go all the way down if you dig enough, and it just pops up to a railroad that's like been abandoned underneath this place. And as I was building that, I'll be like, okay, I already knew what the DJ part was gonna look like. I already knew I wanted it abandoned, but I wanted to make sure it connected with each other. So when I was creating it, I wanted to make sure it fits. So with the railroad, you get to this abandoned building. Because it's a railroad that's been abandoned, it's kind of distorted in a way. It matches up with the abandoned part. So when I was creating that, I was thinking about the lore with it. The lore of why is this abandoned? What happened here? Who is coming here? And that's how I kind of threw it in together. So it was a process of both, making the lore while building the world.
Okay, great. So yeah, just go into detail. Like, what is the lore of the Resistance, and what makes it special?
Okay, so the lore changes a little bit every time because I don't have it fully written down. But
okay.
But basically, you live in this world, and it's a cyber city world, so it's like a virtual world, and like your government's corrupted, and they trying to ban music because music is way too creative, and they want to control you. So what you do? You're a DJ. You are like, I have passion for this music. the music connects me in the way that nobody else can. So what do? You try to find places to hide. You're this DJ, you're loud. You are loud and you want to be loud. You are loud and you're proud. So you make a hideout and you tell these people about this hideout, like people that you trust and then people that they trust. So then you find yourself at this graveyard and you look down and be like, I can do something here. And like you're talking, like you see this place and then you see that there's like this like sinkhole collapsed in that people are repairing over, and you see this underground like rail system. You think about it this way. So I'm going to more detail and lore that I have with anyone else. But like you see this sinkhole and you see the underground railroad and you think of an idea. I can make this a hideout. And like you know that there's a building that's abandoned, like through the railroad system. You know there's a building abandoned on like the other side of town. You know that. And you're like, I can use this railroad system to connect to that building. So you go in the middle of the night, you start digging and you start making contraptions, and you like end up making this like grave that's been abandoned years. The coffin's gone because they robbed it or like they removed it. And you make this like secret entrance way, and you almost get caught by the cops a few times for doing this. And then you bring all your DJ setup all the way downstairs to like this railroad system. And like you see how it reflects light so pretty. You first think that you would start out here, but then you start thinking it's too loud. You're like, people are gonna find me. I'm trying to run away. I ain't trying to be caught by these cops. The cops are trying to chase after you. This whole thing. The government's trying to shut you down. So you're going through this tunnel system. You know there's an abandoned building like a few blocks down. So you go through and you see this. You see like this soft spot in the dirt, and you'll be like, all right, I can dig here. It goes perfectly well, surprisingly, and it's like right next to the abandoned building. That soft spot was like right next to the abandoned building, and you start setting up things. You spray paint the walls with logos of with your logo at first. And this is the founder, by the way. So you start painting this wall with your logo, and you start setting up the systems, and you find this is a great spot because it's hidden. It's a hidden abandoned building. It's nice and safe, and the cops don't seem to come around here often. So you set up here. This is your spot, but of course this can never be your full spot because you're always going to be running away. No matter what, the cops will always find you. But as other DJs come into the world, they spray paint their logos on the wall, being like, I was here too. I'm a part of this. And you slowly gain a resistance. You have become a leader of the resistance. You are a part of the resistance. Everybody that has been in this world has become a part of the resistance. Whether you spray painted your name on the wall or you were just visiting to listen to the music of this DJ because you're passionate about like this music, and you're like, screw the government. The government's horrible. They're trying to shut you down. It's really corrupted. And you follow this person. You have made a resistance of people. And that's why it's named the Resistance. We are the Resistance. Everybody in the world, everybody has been, everybody who has their logo up, you are officially a part of the Resistance. From now on, you run with us. You follow the music. And that's the lore of the Resistance. I would say that's the deep lore of it. I don't often tell the deep lore. But that is the deepest lore.
I'm glad that you told. Like I that's what I wanted to know. Like that's why, I have people on my podcast. Like I ask the questions and we dive deep into the details. So, that's why I would have guessed that's why people enjoy watching. So, thank you for sharing that. Like it's very, very interesting. I actually really like that, and I actually got that feeling when I went into that world. I got a sense of the lore. Obviously, I didn't know the details, but I got a sense that it was very much meant to be like this underground, like place where only like the chosen are like meant to be. It's a very special, very secluded, and like people who just truly love music and are like they're a special breed of people. I think that's really, really cool. Like, I definitely I like the concept a lot. I think it's very, very awesome. So thank you so much for sharing that. Oh gosh. So I believe there was like one more thing I wanted to ask about that, but we've gone into like pretty substantial detail of like how you kind of got into world creating and how the resistance came about. And do you have any future plans for the resistance? Well, I'll ask this. Yeah. Do you have any future plans for it? Anything that people can look forward to?
So with the resistance, I am definitely updating the world like often. I add more logos. The more logos I add, the more lore has been involved, the more people have been there. Logos, I collect the logos from my friends, you know, because I love them. They're all so special to me. So having them involved in the lore I've created, I'm like, hell yeah. They're like, you guys are plated on the wall forever. You guys are just being so much to me that I want you in my world.
Are the logos of like actual DJs?
Yes, there's some logos in there that are full of actual DJs. I mean, I would say about 60 to almost, actually, it's more than 60%. I would say 80% of the logos there are actually DJs that have been to the world, or like my friends that are the other percentage. But yeah, there's DJ logos in there. There's also group logos in there. I gotta add my logo in there eventually. I haven't done that, and I've already added my crew logo in there because, well, that's a fun part.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Very nice, very nice. All right. So, now that we talked about the creative part, let's talk about the other side of things. Your personal life.
Oh my.
This is a part of the podcast that I really enjoy because not many people know. You're already ready with the CheezIts. Holy. Stuffing the face with CheezIts. I'll take a couple.
Some CheezIts?
Yeah, that's so cool. Yo, I'm ready.
You want some soup with your CheezIts?
Oh my god.
You want some soup?
That's so cool.
Yeah, some good soup there.
That's a good soup. Oh gosh, that's so fucking cool. I love that. So, yeah. So, are you single?
Yes.
Okay.
I am single.
All right. What is your sexual preferences?
I like everything. Don't care if you're a girl, boy, nothing. Something else in the spectrum. You a toaster oven? I understand you. I love everybody. I don't like people for their bodies. I like them for their personalities and sometimes the voices. If you got a good, nice voice, I mean, I wouldn't say no, but but yeah, I do like people for who they are inside. You're outside, it gets old, you grow wrinkles when you're older. Your outside doesn't last forever, but your personality, it might change, but it's still there. That part lasts forever. What bodies can't, you do. You stay forever. So you're, that's what I'm attracted to. So
you're more interested in the personality and the soul.
For sure.
Interesting. So there's so I know you said there's no physical there's no physical attraction to the body because that's transient. That ages and all of that. Which, I mean, that makes sense. That makes total sense. So So as long as someone has a nice voice and a good personality, and someone who has a I wouldn't say a pure soul, but a soul that you find beautiful, in whatever way you want to describe that, that's all that matters.
I would say the voice less matters than the personality. The personality, you could have a terrible voice, but if you have a great personality, I'm like, let's go.
Okay.
But yes, I go for like the person that makes me feel secure, makes me smile when I'm around them, that makes me constantly laugh, and I enjoy being around them. They make me feel like home. That is the person that I try to go for. I try to go for that type of person where I don't feel like I need to be somebody else. I feel like I just have to be me around them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the type of person I always look for when I'm choosing a partner or partners, because I could be poly and I could not. It's chosen for me.
Okay. All right. Interesting. So, when it comes to again, the process of choosing a partner, what are the qualities that about a person that what you would consider someone to be a good partner? What should a person exude or exemplify that puts them in a situation where obviously they need to make you feel comfortable, but I guess what is about them specifically, I guess your personal values with regards to, I guess the short term and the long term of, like, if you were to be in a relationship with someone, what would you look for?
Kindness. Kindness is something I look forward to, because in this world where there's a lot of mean folks, but if you show kindness or the ounce of just something like that's nice, or security, or just something there, that's what I'm attracted to. If you make me and other people feel safe around you, you bring out the laughter, you just have this outgoing thing about you. I'd say that is what attracts me the most. Kindness is just like something we all need, and just to have that's something I love.
Mm-hmm.
I'm attracted to that. And of course there's other factors with it for me. That's like you have to have a good person. You make me laugh. I'd love to feel that. But if you make me feel like I'm safe, because oftentimes in this world I don't feel safe anymore. So if I feel safe when I'm with you and I want to be around you, that is something I will pursue and I will attempt to get. And because that is my security, that makes me feel loved. If you make me feel loved, that's the whole world for me. And I truly love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I can definitely relate to that very, very much. I think a lot of people can relate to that for sure. So, I guess, to what, like, when do you, like, how do you personally judge when, you have that feeling? Is it, how do you know that you're experiencing those feelings of, like, love and feeling safe? Like, can you give an example of someone who's made you feel that way? Or how did you respond when you felt that way? What were you thinking? Like, what are the psychological, and mental, even physical things that happen to you when you experience those things?
I would say when I start to experience like this feeling of feeling of togetherness, like I want to spend my time with this person, I will start to feeling the warm feelings of feeling like I like this person, I want to be around them, like I feel with a lot of people. But and then there's this other thing that adds into it, that's like, you make me happy, I want to be around someone that makes me happy, like all good people do. I just feel like I could tell you the whole world and you wouldn't judge me. That's a part of my story, of my love circle, that if I tell you something that I feel like you wouldn't turn and run away. I've had people that have done that. So to find just that type of security, It's everything to me. When I start to feel these ways, I'll start to get giddy, start to have weird feelings in my stomach, like the girly thing, like, ooh. But I just grow more like I want to get closer to them. I'll physically try to get closer to their avatars, or I'll just kind of just chill. Sometimes I'll just just want to have a talk with them, like one-on-one. If I enjoy talking with them one-on-one, I think that's a good part. I think that's something that you can obviously tell that is that I'm like slowly starting to like you more than just a friend. That if I just try to feel this way and like brain over with it.
Yeah. All things I think people can relate to, like the when the brain goes burr, like it gets a little crazy, but it can be a very, very good feeling. It's like just a feeling where you can just kind of just say whatever is on your mind, and they're not gonna like poof, they're not gonna leave. They're always gonna just kind of listen and understand and not be afraid. I think that's all. I think that's what all people really look for. People generally want to feel appreciated, but also heard. I know a lot of people talk about wanting to be seen, but I think something that we're missing these days is someone who makes us feel like we can say anything and that they hear us, they'll understand, and they'll be they will accept us, despite the things that we've gone through, the flaws that we've accrued, because we all have our scars. We're all broken in some shape or form, and having someone who you can share those secrets with and those thoughts with, I think that really makes all the difference. Like being able to just be honest with someone, and I guess that feeling of being able to be honest comes along with always like feeling safe with them as well. So yeah, and like, do you need somebody who's like very kind of like responsive, like when you're having a conversation with somebody, does it matter to you how they respond, or like I guess how do you know when you're having a conversation with someone that you feel as though you're being listened to, that you're being heard? Like do you need details? Do you are you fine with short answers? Like what's your tastes?
I would say for that, I think it's just a focus. If you're there and you know what I said and you interacted with what I said, I think that's at the point where, yes, that you are paying attention. Paying attention, that's all I need. I don't need paying talking back to me. If you don't want to talk back to me, you can. I don't care. I could take all the advice you ever give me. I will gladly take the advice and I will use it forward. But the thing is, if you just pay attention, that hits my heart. Because I have anxiety, so having I have anxiety, so telling people this brings out like the shaking in me, and telling people about what happened to me or what happened to my past or what happened in this moment. It just makes me shake. If I know that you're focusing, I will slowly calm down. So it's just the attention. Yeah, that's like attention. Hey, I'm talking. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm feeling. And it's okay if you don't think it, or it's okay if something's right.
Yeah.
Just the attention.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Yeah, that sounds pretty normal, pretty natural. So, I know there's more I want to ask. Yeah, I don't have anything offhand. I don't have anything to ask offhand, which is uncharacteristic. But yeah, I think that all makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, you answer all the questions very, very, very concisely.
Too much soup? Is that what happened? Did too much soup get to your brain?
Maybe that could be it. That could be it.
Some good soup. I could say some good soup.
I have no doubt that it was good soup. I tasted it. It was very, very good. Okay. So yeah, you made this very easy for me. Just saying. You made this super, super easy for me. So thank you for that.
I'm very much an open book.
Yeah.
So I will tell you things.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll do a whole detail.
So I guess tell me a little bit about your. We'll go into like your avatar. So is this like it looks? This is a custom. Yeah, this is a custom avatar. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a custom Rindu Avi. So I first started off with the Rindu base, and I started customizing it myself. I used to never like booth models. Then next thing you know, I try on a Rindu, and I was in love. A lot of my avatar has actually gone into lore. I have my own lore that's not released yet, so I can't tell you it all. But I can tell you a piece of it. I'm a Two-Spirit. So what you're talking to, or what you've been talking to, is this one's called Tesuki. So I am basically the moon, while this one is Alpha.
Yes. Okay. Makes sense. Okay. So I was curious about that. And it's interesting that you're able to do that like so quick. Wow. That was like a very quick color swap. Yeah.
Ooh.
So what are the differences between the two?
Well, we are both like we're part of one spirit, but we are two different people. So I would say Tesuki is more calm and sweet, and she's nice. While Alpha here, I am more rugged. I am more ambitious. I love the DJ set. When I was making the Resistance, actually Alpha was the idea that I was coming with it. So like I was the more like outgoing type. I think I love like just partying and just being rugged and just going out there. And just that's what Alpha came to be. I was two spirits just split in. I mean, I was one spirit split into two. So I am me. This is Alpha. The other one's Tesuki. We love them both. They're equally as much as the other. I also have them on my CheezIt box.
Yeah.
Canonically, this breaks our lore.
Yeah, that's adorable. Yeah. I love that. So you have all those. You have those triggers for the custom CheezIt box and the soup. So those are all done by. Did you make all those edits? Were those edits done by you?
I have done all those edits.
So you made the CheezIt box.
I used a prefab model for the CheezIt box. It was originally a white cheddar CheezIt box, and I was like, no, thank you. I'm gonna design it. So I went into Photoshop and I erased all of it. I redid the texture on it. So it's an official CheezIt box, but mine, it has like the flavor that I put on there. And like with the soup can, it's the same thing. I got this asset off of online, and I put the picture I wanted on there through like Photoshop because texture work is fun.
Yeah.
So it's a good soup. But, yeah, it even has
cannibal potato soup. Even nutritional facts. show the camera. Show everybody. Yeah, they can see it.
There.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, along with my CheezIt box here, it has a special flavor. If you can understand what that special flavor is.
Let me see.
Shaking.
It's okay. I mean, yeah. I was gonna say that was Japanese, but no, it's not Japanese at all.
not.
It's not. Is that Thai? Thai?
Nope, it is my own language I made when I was a kid.
Okay, yeah. All right, makes sense. Okay. So what does it say?
See how long you noticed.
Yeah. There was no way. Yeah. So what is?
What it says? You want to know what you ate?
What did I eat?
Cannibal flavor.
I should have known. I should have known.
You should have checked.
God damn it. Oh well.
My CheezIt Mountain Dews on there.
I didn't even
See, I'm obsessed with CheezIts.
Yeah, I saw that you even have an emote for your community that's literally a CheezIt. I saw that.
CheezIt.
Yeah.
We love my CheezIt emote. I just got it actually approved recently because I wanted So I wanted to add the CheezIt emote a while ago, but I just recently got it approved. It's so fun. I had this little tail wiggle emote too, but the story behind the CheezIts, though, the reason why I love CheezIts so much is that, first off, it's a great snack. Like, it's great. It's kosher.
Agreed.
Second off, the lore behind it is that back in the day I had like a bender problem. So I went to Sam's Club on this bender. It was like Sam's Club or Costco on this like bender. I went to like this aisle with snacks in it, and it had CheezIts. It had CheezIts in it. And I looked at it, and I had a spending problem at this point, so I bought 15 boxes of family-sized CheezIts. So that was fun, but and I ate them within 2 weeks. That's all I ate for 2 weeks.
What?
That's
What?
the lore
Why?
the CheezIt story.
Why?
I wish I could tell you why, but it was just impulse.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Holy shit. That's a lot.
It was a lot of CheezIts, and honestly, at the end of it all, I got very sick though, like for a week.
Yeah.
Like, what did I do to myself?
I would.
Still love CheezIts.
That's surprising. After getting sick from them, I think most people would not be a fan of CheezIts after that. That's.
I almost died from CheezIts on Chels' stream. I choked and I fainted.
Oh shit.
CheezIts. Yeah, so I have, and then in my throne on my what is it called, on my Twitch, I have a throne there, and there's like a CheezIt selection. I've had my fans buy me a few boxes of CheezIts here. I have two 2-pound boxes of CheezIts.
Wow.
Or 3-pound boxes. Oh yeah, they're 3 pounds. So I have 2 3-pound boxes of CheezIts. I have a few family-sized CheezIts in here, and I know some of them bought me like the smaller CheezIts, the regular size. Damn.
Holy
I have
shit.
so much CheezIts to go through.
Yeah, you are. I think you're pretty set when it comes to having your favorite
I'm
snack.
set for life, you know.
Yeah, you're 100% just, you're good on the CheezIt front.
I'm good. That is true.
If there is ever a zombie apocalypse, you're set. You will live off of CheezIts, and people will be coming into you for your stash, because holy shit, you're good. You're good to go.
I know, my dad came for my stash the other night ago. He took 2 CheezIt boxes and ate them whole. I'm like, buddy, those are mine.
So I do have a quick question for you, related to what we were talking about before. I came up with something on the fly. Yeah. So, because you don't care about what people look like, and like we've talked about the idea of people being different. Like if you how you said you're a little bit different in real life than what you are in VR. So, assuming that you've met that you're interested in someone, and who's to say that they're maybe different in real life than they are in VR? So, like, if that situation were to occur, like meeting someone that you're interested in, and you met them in VR, but now you meet them in real life, and there's a discrepancy. I guess how do you reconcile that? Like,
So, what I reconcile is, yes, there's people that have changed personalities when they come from VR to IRL. But the thing is, there is still, if you get to know someone enough, there's a core factor. There is a core that is a part of them. This is them. So, when you like think about it, and when you see them in IRL, that core is there. There's always going to be a core. That core sticks with you in VR to not to VR. So I love the core of a person. I love every other side of them. Just them in general. Just their personalities and just them as a person. The core is just something that's forever going to be there. Yes, there might be a little difference. Maybe they were loud in VR. Maybe they're quiet in IRL. That's okay. In the middle, there's that person there.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Focus on the core of a person. Like, get to know who they are, the actual person, the thing that makes them who they are. And that's what I hope to do with my podcast. I wanna know. I'm tempted to want to ask you more about the things that, you know, I guess that have made you who you are and the things that you've gone through in real life. But I have a feeling that it was pretty rough, and I'm hesitant to kind of ask about that because I don't know if that's going to be too much. So
I would say for the audience's sake, I think that is a little too much, but
okay.
If you want to ask me off camera, that would be totally fine to tell you. But,
Okay.
Yeah, I had a hard life, that's for sure.
All right.
I've made it to this point now where the past is the past. You learn from the past. You look forward to the future.
100%. Yeah. And that's a great mindset to have. I think more people need that mindset. You know, the past may it doesn't define us, but it makes us who we are. It shapes us into the individuals that we are. It makes us stronger. The things that we've overcome, we are better. We are better people, and we are stronger people, and we can hopefully show more love and understanding towards others because of what we've seen and experienced. So, yeah, we can definitely we can shelf that for potentially off screen, and move on to something else. But I'm glad that I followed my sense and didn't like go for that. I just had a feeling. I pride myself on being able to, you know, sense these things about people. But I did want to kind of bring it up just to be sure, because I want to be respectful of, you know, your privacy and just like, I want you to have a good time. I always want my guests to have a good time and feel comfortable. So.
Understandable.
Yeah. So. At this point, I really just want to know more about, like what are you into? Like, what are your hobbies? Very, very basic stuff. What are your hobbies? What do you like to? Do you like anime? What music do you like? Let's kind of talk about that. Let's kind of wind it down.
No, I can say for sure I love anime. I love music. My hobbies include it includes world making. That's a part of my hobby. Being in VRChat's a hobby. And that will kind of turn into a lifestyle now, but you know, streaming's my hobby. IRL stuff, just making things, sewing stuff, making stuff. That has turned into my hobby. I mean, even my IRL work has become my hobby.
Can you share a little bit about your what you do, what you work on IRL?
So IRL, if I'm talking about like just hanging out in the house, reasons why I cook, I bake, I do like sewing projects if I really want to. I just kind of build worlds. You know, I sit at the computer building worlds, or I decorate posters, or making memes. I make logos sometimes. Currently, my current hobby has been like working on the locker system in my world. God, I I have plants I cultivate. I'm a big planty, so I have plants like in my balcony window here, and that I love. I love to death. Speaking of which, I gotta water them tomorrow. But yeah, like, I have a bunch of little hobbies. I'm very much a creative person. I have
Sounds
a lot
like
of
it.
things I do, and with ADHD, it helps a lot with making more hobbies.
Yeah.
God, I don't know how many phases I've gone through already.
Hey, I mean, we're always changing, always growing, always learning new things. I think that's what makes life very, very interesting. We can always learn and pick up new abilities, and find new interests. So are you saying like the work that you do is just like that's basically like your hobbies? Like, do you have a certain occupation IRL, or are you just or like a world builder or a logo maker, just in general?
IRL, I go to college for cooking and baking, and my job includes of me baking and cooking and being a busser, because being on the floor is really nice too, instead of just being in a hot kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a server. I guess I'd say I have a server / cook job. It's what my IRL job is. I quite find it fun, so that's why I say it's a hobby. Until there's nights where there's too many people, and then it's not fun.
Yeah, that's always facts. Yeah. I've worked in the food industry, so I have some experience of like what that could be like.
Oh yeah, no, it's really fun, but I wanted to be a baker for I don't know how long, but I also wanted to be a world creator.
Hey, why not both?
The thing is, I designed my own like bakery inside of a world once, so I have that idea going for me. I wanted a bar bakery, so like it would be a bakery in the morning time, and in the afternoon it would be semi-closed, and in the nighttime it would be a bar. So all the leftover pastries I had from the morning, I can sell them at the bar, because drunk people get hungry. So
True.
It's a great investment.
So it sounds like you're interested in role play.
A bit. I wouldn't. Yeah, a bit. That was something I would be interested in, but baking is my IRL dream job, IRL version, but while being in VRChat, it's work creation.
Gotcha.
So I don't think I would want to get paid for it, because I am not good with just a timeline. I have to be motivated to do certain things for VR. I'll get stuck in my room when I feel like I'm trapped here for too long, so sometimes I have to go downstairs. And if I'm doing things by a deadline, I have severe things about deadlines. So when I take tests, I have to take it, and I have to have a lot of time on these tests, or I won't pass the test, or I won't even do it. I won't even attempt it. So if I have a deadline, that's why I don't take commissions for people like in world-wise. I'll help you create your own world. Yeah, sure, I'll teach you some of it. But if you want to buy a world for me, I can't say I would accept it. I would be like, no, but I will teach you how to make a world. Because I don't like deadlines. It freaks me out. I won't get a proper world done. It'll look like trash. We don't want a world that looks like trash.
No, you don't. No, that there's like having a world that is not like up to par immediately shows. So you definitely want it to be like on point. You want it to be doing what you want it to do 100%. Like, would you say that anyone could like learn how to make worlds? Do you think it's easy for just anyone who has no experience with Blender or Unity? Do you think that's possible?
Oh, absolutely. It is so possible to make a world. I say it's like Lego blocks or Minecraft, because honestly, you can make a box in like 2 seconds of this place. You can make a box with a bed. Instant. That's a world right there. That is a world, and that is a nice world. But if you want to make like a fancy world, like the world we're in currently, I would say that takes time to learn. But anybody can make a world. There is no limitations. You can make a world. You might have script problems. You can always ask someone for that, though. But anybody can do this. It is not just a single person. Oh, you're so special. No. You can make a world if you put the effort into it. If you don't have effort, you don't have the motivation to do it, you're not gonna make the world. You're gonna lollygag on it. You're gonna be like, whatever, I'll do this tomorrow, and tomorrow, and that tomorrow never comes. You don't make the world then. You have to have the motivation to do this. So it'd be, anyone can make it as long as you have motivation.
I like that. Very good to know. I think a lot of people will be encouraged by that for sure. Like people who may be interested in doing such things, or they may feel discouraged. I think that would be really, really encouraging for people to hear for sure. So, you said you liked anime. What anime do you like? What are you into?
I'm more into the cheesier animes, I cannot lie. I love the good romance ones. I'm all giddy.
Hey, I like those too.
I'm so much of a drama queen. I'll get up during the show and I'll be like, oh, come on. And so I'll like walk around my room. I'm like, are you serious? That person could have, no. I'll ship characters together. I'm like, they should have gone together. So, if we have to say what my favorite anime is, it would definitely have been Negima, which was my first anime I ever watched.
Wow, that's a classic.
I love that anime to death.
Yeah.
That was my first starting of anime, my first taste. I love Inuyasha. I'm saying all the goodies, and Inuyasha, Negima, I would say, what's that? Vampire. It's something with Princess Vampire.
I think I've heard of that one.
I think that was what the name was called. But and then there was Princess Tutu. Now that got me like that.
That's very, very classic. Like, wait. Didn't the main character have pink hair? I think.
She had orange hair, but when she turned into Princess Tutu, she had a white backing on her hair, but sometimes it would be pink.
Okay, yeah, so, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it's been a long time, but, like, I did remember that her hair was, like, a funky color, but, like, yeah, that's cool, yeah. Because, like, I'm looking at you,
the hairstyle is from...
Oh, you took the hairstyle from that?
No, so I chose this hairstyle. This hairstyle was on Booth. But I was thinking about it. I looked into it and I'm like, oh my god, it reminds me of my old anime. I chose it. And I also like the hangover on the hair part. So that was like a plus with that. I'm like, perfect. Found my perfection.
Yeah. Very cool. So anything recently that you're watching, or are you mainly kind of like are you watching like the classics?
As of recently is the House Husband, How to Be a House Husband one. I find that absolutely hilarious. It's like I can say, a summary of it is a mafia boss becoming a house husband, basically.
Yeah, that's always fun.
It's a silly movie. I mean, it's a silly series, I should say. In Violet Evergarden.
Beautiful series.
Is something that...
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that hit me hard. That one hit me very hard. I felt like something with it, and I loved it. I love that series. I hope they make more of it. If not, oh well.
Yeah.
I can still rewatch it.
Yeah, I actually have to watch that at some point. That was one of those series that was during the time where I was like kind of gradually falling out of watching a lot of anime, but I had heard about it, but I never had a chance to watch it. But I did see like previews of it, and it looks just gorgeous animation, just gorgeous world building.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It seems very, very beautiful. Yeah,
It's so pretty. I love it so much.
So music. What genre of music do you like?
I can't choose a genre, but like I love all music. If you look at me though, you wouldn't think that heavy metal was one of my favorites. or that country was my soul, that like I grew up off of that. you see me more around the EDM crowd and like the DJ type, so like electric music. You see me more around that, and you would think that'd be my favorite, but no, it would have to be like somewhere where the country is, the heavy metal is, the pop music. Like, I'm from different spectrums. I love classical too. Like, I adore classical music. I used to play a violin, so
nice.
I know about classical. But yeah, that was those. I love every single like piece, like genre of music. I would say if I had a least favorite genre, it would have to be heavy rap. I like rap, but then there's a heavy rap. So like it's like too fast, it's too talky, it's heavy, you can't understand the words. I think that part it bothers my brain a lot because it's too much for me. But I think like a nice rap is nice, it's cool, it's vibey, it's you can understand the story, you can understand what they're trying to say to you. Heavy rap, it's like, whoa, what are you trying to tell me, man? I can't understand. Misophonia will act up with it. I'm like,
like it's just like, would you describe it as like just like nonsensical mumbling to some degree? Is that what you're usually like referring? Is that what you're referring to when you say hard rap? The stuff that sounds like mumbling?
Hard rap, I would say it sounds like mumbling. Like you can't even. To me, sometimes I can't even make a word out of it, and I'm like, what? I could say there's one or two songs that with heavy rap that I could say that I like. So, but when it comes to like hard rap styles, or it's just talk, I can't get around it. I can't fall in love with that. That would be my least favorite genre. I wouldn't say I hate it, it's just something I just don't listen to often.
Okay. So country, heavy metal, and
country, heavy metal, classical, and pop. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Nice. And is there a place that you want to go that you haven't been to before, or that maybe you've been to before that you'd like to go again? Somewhere in the world you'd like to visit?
If we're talking about United States, it would have to be California. I fell in love with California, even though there's like, there's the bad sides of California.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff in California. Yeah.
There's the bad side of California. Yeah, I know about it. I've seen it. But the thing is, I absolutely love it. Like it's just it brought out something in me I didn't know I had. Like it brought power to me. When I went there, my life kind of changed. I went from a shut-in to an extrovert real fast. When I went there, I felt
it forces you
in California.
Like the warm weather and like the sun and just like there's so much to see. There's everything's so spread out, and yeah, I could definitely see how that would like just the kind of people that live in that neck of the country. They definitely force you to be an extrovert. I've gone there myself too, so I definitely know that feeling.
Yeah, I kind of got abandoned in California, so I had to really find out California on my own.
Wait, what? So, what? you got abandoned? What?
Okay, so we went on this trip with like ex-family friends, I should say. But like we went on this trip, and they drove us all the way through Nevada, through Las Vegas, all the way to like this part of like California. I don't remember what part it is. I know we were close to LA, but they drove us to this place, and then next thing you know, they're like they take us to like these hotels. But the thing is, they've been there before. They were supposed to be our protectors. They were supposed to show us like these ropes. And next thing you know, we're in a hotel like alone, and there's a little note saying, "Go explore, go fend for yourselves, do whatever." We were underage at this time. We didn't know anything. This was me and my brother. Like I think he was about to turn 17. I mean, not 17. He was about to turn 18. I think that was a part of it. He was about to turn 18, and I was young as hell. I'm younger than my brother, yeah. by like I think 2 to 3 years. But so they just kind of left us in this hotel with a note saying fend for yourself. And to explore this foreign place that we didn't have no clue of. And they're like leave the room, and it's so strange that was happening. I call it the abandonment issues, but like they just left us there, and then they would only come out at night. We would come in like really late because we didn't know the place. We had like maps. We had to get like maps and tour guides. When we got to the actual part of, so this was like that part started at the ends of California, but when we got towards the middle area, we went to like their cousin's house and we stayed there. So they took the bedrooms, and me and my brother slept on the couches. And they were like small couches, and like they weren't big, but they kind of just like they left every morning. And my brother wanted to go to this convention, so he went to the conventions, and then I was there, kind of alone in the house. I kind of explored. I explored California, and when my brother was done with his convention, he came, and then we had a 3-hour walk to Chinatown. I might be exaggerating. It might have been a 2-hour walk. It felt like 3 hours.
I mean, like, everything in California is super spread out. So it wouldn't surprise me if it was actually 2 hours, because everything is so far away from each other. But yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and I was sad. I was so sad. So they told us. I remember this little note. They were like, "Hey, go take the buses. Go take the bus to wherever you want." And if you, from what we got told, like we went all the way to like this pier, which was like 3 hours away or 4 hours away, and then the buses closed because we were out late. The buses were closed.
Yeah.
And we can't walk all the way there. That was by car. But so the buses were closed, and like we went to like this Barnes and Nobles, and we were like, well, we took the bus system. This clerk in the front, they were like, you took the bus system as a loan? You know those things get like shot up and robbed, right? And we were like, what? They sent us out here on the buses to just like fend for ourselves, and I didn't know that. We didn't know this was our first time in California. Yeah. This was our first time without our parents. And so we were on the other side of the town, and I called my mother. I was like, I can't. They are not answering my call. They're like, because we called them to be like, hey, can you pick us up from this place? We are scared here. We don't want to be here anymore. And like we called them, they didn't answer the phone. Turns out, when I called my mother, they called them, and turns out they were at a bowling place. So they were at bowling. They could clearly see that we were calling them on the phone.
Jeez.
And they could clearly see it. And the thing is, they were like, my mother was like, hey, you need to go get my kid. I trusted you with them. With the both of them, and they're like, just send an Uber for them. Just send an Uber for them. And I'm like,
that's ridiculous.
Like, we don't want to go pick them up. We don't want to go pick them up. No, just go send an Uber. So my dad like bought an Uber for us, and we came all the way back home like that. And at that point, I was fed up with them. I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
I kind of ignored them for the whole half of the trip. But the one memory I have is sitting on that porch just thinking about it. But just thinking about it, just seeing the sunrise, because, you know, time zones are very different here.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I mean...
So, like, seeing that sunrise in the morning.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, fuck that.
Yeah, the very short time that I was in California, like, there is something particularly, like... I hesitate to say it, but there is something magical about California. Like, I don't know what it is, but maybe it's the fact that I was in California in like January or February, and it was 80 degrees. And I'd never experienced that before. So like that stays with you. Like, obviously it's a completely different experience from what you had. Like, you were like, you had to deal with like getting around and being like left behind, and dealing with just all kinds of like strange occurrences because the people who you were with were being completely irresponsible. So like, of course, that's gonna like stay with you. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. That's nuts. But yeah, like,
but the good thing.
but yeah, like there definitely are some pleasant things about California. Like I knock it and I say like, oh yeah, it's like LA is like filled with like rampant homelessness and everything. Santa Monica is more of the same. Yeah, like Skid Row is a thing. It's a very real thing. But like there are places in California that make it really, really cool. Like there are a lot of mountain ranges. There's forests. There's lakes. There's the ocean. There's a lot of things to love about California. So I give it shit, but it definitely is somewhat of a magical place that I would definitely want to go back to too. And that's a place that you would like to go back to under more controlled circumstances. It sounds like.
No, absolutely. That's a place I can never forget. Just the sights I saw, the feelings I get, the feeling of just being free. That's what I got there. I felt freedom when I was there. Yes, I felt like I was lost too, but I had a sense of freedom. Even with my brother, you felt home at California, even though like it was far away from home. It was there. You felt it with everything. It's just so magical. I have this necklace on that I got from Chinatown. I have not taken it off from all those years ago. So I've had this on. I've never took it off. I don't think I can. I think she made it tight to the point where I couldn't take it off. So without cutting it, and the little symbol, it's a jade. So the little symbol says it means wishes come true.
Yeah.
So that's a powerful message for me. It's just like your wish, something that you want badly. If you work hard enough, or it'll come true. For it, just as long as like you believe in it or you work for it, it's something that makes you feel safe. That's why I love my necklace that I got from California. That whole message from California I got with it. It was nice. I wish to go back one day.
Yeah. Cool. So, where would you like to be 5 years from now?
5 years from now? I guess I would like to be just vibing. I would like the technology to get better. I guess 5 years from now, I'd like to be a more like known world creator. Like I would like to have a world that's just so cool that people want to chill in. Like this world, like people come here to chill. I would like that as a world creator. I would like the fact that my knowledge would get expanded to the point where it's quality over quality work. I think that would be great. I'd like to just kind of design things in a way that it just looks like a nice world. I can make it like real quick, or I can have an idea about it real quick. My hobby of streaming, I would just like more people to see. I don't care too much because it's a hobby for me. Yeah, cool. But like, I would like more people to understand me as a person when they see what I like do on VR, whether it be VR or games. I'd like to interact with more people. That is why I stream, is to interact with people and to show people like the worlds I see, what I do. Yeah, sometimes, ever so often, I'll have like a building stream. I haven't done it in a really long time though. But I'd like to see people like do that. I'd like to show that.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun.
Do you
in like 5 years?
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Like I honestly think that if you keep doing what you're doing, like the resistance is certainly getting some attention. I know that I'm pretty sure like all the names within our circles, Red and Turk have done sets there already. So like it's already getting known. People are hearing about. People are seeing it. So I have no doubt that, as you continue to, improve your skills and make more worlds and have more ideas, I'm sure one day you'll make a world that will reach the heights that, that will make you feel like you've actually done something that people really enjoy and it's gotten really well known and people have fun there and people go there. So I'm hopeful. I believe that you can do it. I know for a fact, like, being able to talk to you and getting to know you, like I have a feeling that like you have that spark, that creative spark that really made me curious about you. Like you definitely have that desire to do good things and create things and make people happy and bring people together and obviously, have those feelings for yourself, which is, that's part of the reason why I wanted you on the podcast. Like I definitely felt something from you and I think a lot of people have really wanted to know more about you and, more about like who you are and why the resistance came into being. I think a lot of people believe in you. Like you said, you have a lot of friends that are in your corner, a lot of friends that believe in you. I am certainly one of those people. I know we've just met recently, but I certainly have every bit of faith in you. I see what you're doing. You have a great personality. You're really fun to be around. And yeah, I definitely enjoy your company. And I think a lot of people certainly do too. So I definitely want to like let you know that and share that with you because I'm really, really appreciative of you being on the podcast. But I do have, I think there are a couple of people who had some questions for you. So we got 2 questions in my Discord for you. So we'll just kind of ask those really quickly. So this one is from Apple. I know I saw Apple had to leave earlier, but how long did it take you to get to where you are now, and how difficult was it?
If we're talking about creation-wise, it would be from the start of VRChat to now. But if we're talking about like personality-wise, to find myself, I mean, that took years. That took ever since I like kind of tried to find myself as a person. I'd say that would start in the end of elementary. That part hit. I tried finding myself from then on, and I'm barely still on the surface of finding out who I am as a person and how long it took me to get from there to here. But like to just build up friendships, it took a while too. It took people through people to like just kind of create friends like that.
It always does.
And then that's long.
Yeah. Like I know for me, friends may come, like they may make a good impression on you, like right off the bat, but that doesn't mean that they will be there. They'll remain a part of that. Like the people who are there and truly become friends, those are really hard to make, and they're not made overnight for sure. So yeah, definitely would take a long time for anybody, and I'm sure, like you said, it did for you, but you're here, and it definitely wasn't easy, but you found the people that were important to you, that are important to you.
Yeah, people come and go out of your life so often, but like there's these chapters of people that stay in your story. These people stay and they'll become a reoccurring character. Yes, some might leave, but the ones that will be there the longest, you feel that. You know that they're going to be here for a while, and that's what makes me strive to keep them. I want to keep these friends that I've made. They mean the whole world to me, honestly. They are my everything. They make me. They make the world. They make everything I have ever done. They have an influence. So
yeah, definitely agree with that 100%. So I have another question for you from Philo Zen. Philo, he's a good friend of mine and also a streamer. So his question is, if you had to pick between CheezIts and soup, what would you pick?
Oh, oh no, this is the hard question. I choose either CheezIts over here. Oh, CheezIts, which I love. I love CheezIts. Good CheezIts. Or soup.
Soup.
I don't know which one I would choose. I mean, for a snack-wise, I definitely say CheezIts. But for like long-lasting and like warm stuff, I would say soups. But like,
you gotta choose though.
There's like some. I know I gotta choose. Which one would it be? I mean, technically, if I say soup, I can just make CheezIt soup.
You absolutely could. That's
you have a lot of CheezIt soup, you know.
Yeah. So
I would say yes, soup would have to be it. It has influenced me a lot. I remember a lot of core memories off of soup. CheezIts, yes, they are beautiful. I love them to death, but soup is always gonna be there.
All right. Hey, there you go. There you have it. Soup wins out over CheezIts. And if you could make an ultimate world, one that has everything you need and want, what would it look like and what would it have? This is also from Philo.
So if we're talking about VRChat, I would make, all I ever wanted is for people to sit and enjoy and have conversations at my world. So if I made the ultimate world, it'd be a hangout world. It'd be a world that people come to. People come to, talk to me, hang out in it, just chill and vibe. That's all I ever want. That's all I ever want. It's just the people to stay with me. Just in a world that we have memories that we make in it. I make worlds for memories. These memories will stay will last lifetimes. Even with my memory degrading, more and more you stay. I take pictures because of that. But like, this is what I'm going to remember when my life flashes before my eyes. It's the people I'm surrounded with. These worlds can disappear in like a day. But if I had to make like an ultimate world, it would be a world where I can have people surrounding me and making memories. That's all I ever want.
Yeah, I just got this beautiful image in my mind. Like, I also am a creative individual. I mean, obviously, I do a podcast and do my video editing and all that. So I'm also of a creative mind. So I just got this really beautiful image in my mind of you in this really, like, bright, comfy world with, like, couches and rugs and like, just like pictures up on the wall, and it was just you kind of surrounded by like all the people you ever met. Obviously, I don't know everyone that you've met and all the people who are important to you, but you know, my imagination just kind of filled in the blanks, and it's just kind of like this image of like you just surrounded by, like, you know, those classic moments in anime where you like have the groups of friends who are like, they're like getting together and like they like hug each other and like it's all like shiny and fluffy and, you know, the sun is shining on them. It was like something like that, but it was very much like with you and everyone there. Like, so like, I think that'd be great. Like, I think that's a beautiful goal to have, to a place where you can have everyone that really matters to you in one place. And it's the memories. It's the moments with those people. You know, it really is what makes VRChat isn't always the world. It's the people that you meet and the connections that you make with them. And I think it's always important to remember that no matter how good the technology gets, no matter how much we may lose parts of ourselves because we become more, you know, integrated with technology, wherever that may lead us in the future. What matters most is the connections that we make with other humans, because at the end of the day, we're all humans. We're all here, and with feelings, with scars, and things that makes us who we are. And I think the best thing that any of us can have is a place to call home, and friends to really kind of lean on. So yeah, I love that.
I mean, if there's one thing I want to put in all my worlds, or just the world, the dream world, the ultimate world, it would be pictures of memories.
Yeah, of just
people
all your
surrounding me.
friends.
That would be it.
Yeah.
If I had technically, if we were thinking of an actual world, it would be a world with fields, like a field with comfy chairs everywhere and just like spots. But the thing is, there would be flying pictures of memories going by. And we sit there and we watch them, we see all these memories, and we think about these memories, we relive them, and when we make more memories within that world, that, if we're talking about an actual world, that would be it.
I love that. I love that. I can see that. I can see that. And yeah, I would love to see that. Would love to see that. So, I want to thank you very much for being on the podcast, Alpha. It's been such a pleasure getting to know you. It's been such a pleasure talking with you, and absolutely just getting to know another creative person, another interesting individual in VRChat. I hope a lot of people will get to know you through this podcast and will start to follow your work as a world creator. And whenever they go to the Resistance, that they'll think of you, and you'll be able to meet even more interesting, cool people, and create even more wonderful, wonderful memories. And I hope to be one of those people who'll be able to continue to support your world building. And maybe someday, you can help me maybe make a podcast world or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But that,
I get ya.
But I'm very much looking forward to what you do in the future, and yeah, my hunch about you was right. You really are just a cutie who deserves head pats and hugs. So thank you so much for being on the podcast. It's been a great time.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It was a blast getting to just be here and to like being with you and you knowing about me. I gotta ask more questions about you now, but it was great to be here to just talk with you, to just share my story out there and share like what my knowledge is. I think that's the important part. It's just go burr. That's the important part. Just going burr, yeah, totally. But I think that's just, thank you so much for having me, though. It's really been a pleasure.
Absolutely. And so, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitch with alpha_Tesuki. I know I am also on Twitter. It's Alpha Service Puppy. That will be changing soon. That was an old username. It's gonna be Alpha Tesuki too. Oh my god, different names.
Yeah.
They should all be linked within my Twitch if you go over and look at it. Should all be linked up there. I have where you can contact me on. And I'm on Discord. I'm in your Discord, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm able to be contacted within Discord. I have my own Discord, so you can contact me if you need something or you want to chit chat. It's always fun.
Yeah. And what can people expect to see on your streams when they drop by? Just for a little bit of context so people know.
For my streams, I would say I'm more of a friend-based stream, so I treat everybody as friends. Y'all are my friends. You come to my stream, you're automatically friend. Let's go. But I try to make it as comfy as possible, and I mainly focus on like the people surrounding me. You're supposed to be a third perspective you're supposed to be seeing what I see, and I think that's why I don't interact with chat so much that I do with with interacting with everybody else. Is because you're supposed to see through my eyes. You're supposed to be there where I'm at. That's where I try to kind of be like, I play a bunch of games too, so like if you come see me in a game, I will definitely talk to you, chit chat with you. You'll see me lose a lot in certain games. I'm not very good, but you'll definitely. I love having games. I love playing games. I have the world of time and just show it with everybody. So that's basically what you would expect. Just me having like fun doing this. Being frustrated at some points when I don't do Portal right.
Alrighty, cool. So people have that information about you. I'll be sure to that'll be sure to be on the bottom of the screen so you all can easily see that, of course. And as always, if you enjoyed this podcast, as always, you're watching this on YouTube right now, so please subscribe, like the video, leave a comment below, let us know what was your favorite part in the podcast. You can do that right down below. Would really appreciate that. And you can find me on Twitch as well. I'm at twitch.tv/Neferty with two eyes. Two eyes. And you can also find me on Twitter at Neferty with also 2 eyes. And of course, if you're interested in having information about the podcast itself, if you want to just know about the updates directly pertaining to the podcast, there is a Twitter for the podcast as well. It is Sweet Talking Podcast. There are no 2 T's. It is just 1 T because that's all I could get at the moment. So it's Sweet Talking Pod. So Sweet Talking Pod. You can find me or find information about the podcast there. All the announcements, everyone who's going to be on the podcast will be announced there. I'll probably be retweeting it on my other Twitter account as well, so you can find me there. And yeah, of course, you're watching it on YouTube, so it'd be great to have your support on YouTube as well. So thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Sweet Talking Podcast. And as always, I hope you'll tune in again in the future. And until next time, I'll see you again. Take care of yourselves, and I look forward to the next one. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So, can you, actually, can we start again? Because I totally was just like, my arm is completely fucked at the moment. I wanted to ignore it. I couldn't ignore it. Because it was clipping through my boobs. So, yeah. Yeah.
The camera doesn't see it.
Yeah, you saw nothing. Hey there, Neferty here. Twitch continues to be super sus, and YouTube continues to smack me with copyrights on all the music that I play on my streams. So you know what? I'm really excited and super fucking nervous to finally be launching my Patreon at patreon.com/Neferty. What is Patreon? It's a way for you to subscribe and support me with custom rewards that I came up with myself. Basically, it's there for you, and I come up with it just for you. So starting at $1, you can subscribe to me for starting just $1. Really simple. And there are 4 tiers currently. There is the head pat tier, there is the snuggle tier, the huggle tier, and the snuggle tier. And obviously, as you go further down the line, the tiers get higher and higher, but the rewards, I think, get sweeter and sweeter. So I just want to let you all know that this is a thing that I've actually launched. I'm really excited to do it, and I'm hoping that you guys will be willing to support me, and I'm really grateful to all the support that I've gotten. If you want to know the details of why I am doing a Patreon, you can find that out at the About section on the Patreon page itself. You can read that all in detail if you want to know the full-on details. I didn't want to bore you guys with the details. That's just not relevant. But I want to let you all know that this is here and that it's there for you. So let me know your thoughts about the rewards. Please check them out. If things go well, I'll be adding another reward for most of the tiers. I already have something in mind to add on if things seem to be going really well. And I might even add another tier. Things get super out of control. I may even add another tier, which I haven't really considered, but I definitely have wanted to add another tier if things go super well. So At the end of the day, what I do depends on you guys. So whether you can or can't afford to support me, I really am always grateful so much for you even watching this in the first place, for you liking, commenting, subscribing on YouTube, and enjoying my free content that I put out free of charge for everyone to enjoy. So once again, that is patreon.com/Nefertiti, and I am really excited of what we can hopefully build together. Looking forward to seeing you there. Bye.